Hey guys, and welcome to my review of the new Avengers movie, Infinity War. So the story to this film's been being built up to for 10 years and almost 20 movies now. So yeah, it's safe to say that there's a lot of hype behind this movie. Does it live up to it? I personally think it does, and in my opinion this film has just set an unbeatable barrier for this year's summer blockbusters. I don't think there's really going to be anything that can be anywhere near as close to being as good as this movie is. In Infinity War, all of Marvel's biggest stars have to team up to stop the evil Thanos. Thanos is trying to wipe out half of the universe by getting a hold of the 6 Infinity Stones, all of which control a different aspect of the universe. So of course all the Avengers, old and also new, have to team up to stop him. So in the film there are basically 4 different storylines, all of which by the end kind of come together. I think by the end there's 2 different climaxes that are basically linked together. The expectations for this film were ridiculously high, but I personally think that they managed to exceed those expectations somehow. The Russo brothers, probably best known for directing the Winter Soldier and Civil War movies, just did an absolutely incredible job with this movie and made what is, in my opinion, one of the best Marvel movies and honestly one of the best superhero movies ever made. It's bigger and bolder than any of the MCU movies so far and has the biggest stakes out of any of the movies. The film is constantly engaging, which is pretty impressive considering it's a 2.5-hour movie. The action scenes especially are constantly really exciting and create some of the most tense moments in any Marvel movie to date. The directing from the Russo brothers in this movie sets a new precedent for superhero movies, with every single scene being full of emotion, excitement and also humour. Even the most subtle scenes are full of this. The script of the movie is especially fantastic and it does a great job of developing every single character without kind of ruining who they are. It's obvious that the writers of this movie really understood all of the characters and also kind of understood what the MCU was doing with them in the previous movies. There was never a moment that I felt was kind of out of character from what I've seen of them in the previous movies. And when you consider how many characters are actually in this movie, that is incredibly impressive. Of course, we have all of the original Avengers and we also have the new characters. We have Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, we have all the Guardians of the Galaxy's character, Black Panther as well as in the film. And to balance all of these characters out, give them all their own development is pretty impressive. Although there are a few characters that I think do get a little bit underdeveloped a little bit. Black Panther especially is barely in the film at all. He only really has a couple of scenes and I think you only actually see him in his full costume like once in the film. Captain America also was a character that I didn't really find that interesting in the movie. He doesn't really have a lot of screen time, and the screen time where he is on the screen, I honestly just felt that he was just kind of off to the side in most of the scenes he was in. And because there is so much going on in the film, there are moments where it does get a little bit overcrowded. I personally think the scenes with Captain America and Vision and stuff could have been shortened down a bit. There's a lot of really great stuff in there, but I don't know, I just think that they should have focused a little bit more on sort of like the Guardians of the Galaxy scenes and the scenes with Iron Man, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Those moments were incredibly fun and interesting, but I felt that the scenes on Earth at times could get a little bit slow. And in the final climax especially, I found myself more interested on what was going on in space than what was actually going on Earth. But that doesn't mean it was terrible or anything, it was still very, very good. I just kind of preferred these other moments of the movie to the Captain America stuff on Earth. But to be fair, there is so much that had to happen in this film and so many characters that they had to develop, so the fact that they did it this well anyway is really, really impressive. And seeing all these characters together is just as satisfying as it was when that original Avengers movie came out, and probably even more so now because you have all these new characters especially. And honestly, I couldn't help but have a huge smile on my face when there was the scenes with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man and the Guardians of the Galaxy all together. Seeing them all interact, it just filled me with so much joy. But of course, I have to talk about the movie's villain, Thanos, and honestly, he is the best villain that we've seen in any of the MCU movies. I honestly think he may be one of the best villains I've ever seen in a superhero movie, and that's just because everything about the character is really, really great, just from like the animation of the character, because he's a full CGI character. Just from the animation of his face, his movement, everything looks so lifelike and it's fantastic. But also just the writing of the character is great, the development of him, it makes him really, really, really interesting. And also Josh Brolin's performance is just absolutely mind-blowing. Although his performance is all voiceover work, he puts so much emotion into his character. It makes him just so fascinating to watch. And the character's presence on screen is so unsettling. He stands out every single time you see him. You always know something bad's about to happen whenever you see him on screen, and I think that's what a good villain should be like. And I'm not going to spoil the ending of the movie, but I will just say that the film leads to a climax that is so incredibly emotional that I don't think anyone was really expecting them to be this brave and bold. Although I think a lot of people are probably guessing where the next movie's going to go, and I do think that they may take a little bit of the power out of the ending, but as it is, the ending is just so great. Overall, this film is just an incredibly exciting, fun and emotional celebration of the Marvel movies and comics in general. I honestly think it's something that will give fans everything that they were hoping for out of the movie. It's a 2.5 hour movie that, even in some of the duller moments, is never really boring and is constantly funny, emotional, and incredibly exciting. It will leave the audience awestruck. I honestly have very little bad to say about it. I just had an absolute blast with the movie. I saw it at the midnight screening and then went and saw it again the next day, and both times I had an absolutely incredible time and just left the movie just completely in love with what I'd seen. So I have to give Avengers Infinity War a 9.5 out of 10. Hi guys, thanks for watching my Infinity War review. Did you guys watch it? If so, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of it. I personally thought it was a very, very good movie, and I'm really looking forward to what they do next. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.